emotions. So when I have people that step in and they start to give me their names, I really want you to think about it. Is it a grandparent? Is it a great-grandparent? Is it a great-uncle? They might just be the first person that I'm actually feeling that steps in through your family bloodline, okay? But I keep getting Charles very clearly. He recognizes that. Perfect. Who is that for you, honey? Your father? Perfect. Is he one of the ones you were hoping for? He makes me feel he's very strong, so we'll see where. Perfect. He just keeps saying Charles. Wonderful. Good. So even though I'm getting a few more names, I'm going to leave them for just a moment. He's just the one that's actually getting my attention now, and he's being very clear with his name because he's saying Charles to me. Did somebody call him Charlie? He said, you can call me Charlie if you want to. That's how I know that most people called him that. Do you understand? Perfect. He has a mother energy just beside him. Somebody else you were hoping for? Okay, good. And who is she to you, honey? Because she keeps saying to me, we're both here together. That's how I know I want to tie them in marriage. Do you understand it? So your mom has passed as well. It just means they're using the opportunity to both step in together. Do you understand it? Perfect. I feel the double wedding rings. That's how I know they're tied in marriage. Do you understand? Did he pass before her? Because he keeps saying to me, I've been gone longer than her. I said, okay. It's his way of, not only because he's already given me his name, it's his way of validating that he actually crossed before her. They were still tied in marriage when he crossed? Because he's showing me the gold wedding rings. Perfect. Okay, so not only is he validating his name to me because he's saying Charlie, he makes me feel there's a mother energy just beside him, and then he had to make me feel that it's your mom and that they were tied in marriage. So not only is it his way of giving me his name, but he's also showing me the double wedding rings. When they show me the double wedding rings and they're gold, that means they're tied in marriage before the first person passes, and they're tied in marriage at the time. If they turn in black and separate, it means it's some kind of separation or divorce. But parents can still be crossed on the other side in spirit and still step in together whether married or not before the first person passes. So that's why they have to show me the gold. Do you understand? Meaning they're still tied in marriage, and it's his way of not only saying that he preceded her, but it's also his way of validating to me that he was there to greet her as well. Do you understand? Perfect. Is this your first time? Okay, because she's all excited and she keeps saying to me, I cannot wait to talk to my daughter, even though my husband's talking first, because this is our first time to talk to her since we've been gone. Do you understand it? Perfect. And you have some other items as well? Because she keeps saying to me, she makes me feel like they're going to start talking about things that were passed down. Do you understand it? Okay. When I get that and I get the symbolism, it just means she might be validating something you're wearing, something you brought with you, some of the things that you have of theirs. Do you understand it? Perfect. So I'm just going to leave it until she shows it to me, okay? What's with the month of April? Perfect, because I always ask them, because he's saying Charlie to me, I always want them to either give me the birth month, the passing month, or at least your birthday, and he keeps saying April to me, so that was his birthday? Perfect, so it's his way of giving me a date as well. Do you understand? Wonderful. And I'm just going to let him talk. He makes me feel, even though I know that you, was your mom the main person on your mind today? Okay, because she keeps saying to me, I know she really wants to hear from me too, but I feel like he's going to be the more vocal one, at least for now in the beginning. Do you understand it? Okay, perfect. It just means that he's taken the time, okay? Are you the only one at the table connected? Okay, good. Because I keep getting, it's the two of us standing here now, but she's the only one connected to us. Do you understand it? Perfect, good. I feel like I want to get dressed in jewelry. I said I feel like I want to get dressed in jewelry. Are you wearing a piece of her jewelry? Perfect. Good. I just feel like I want to get dressed in jewelry. Usually they'll make me feel the piece. I just know that you're wearing one of their pieces. Do you understand it? So you're wearing his actual piece? All right. Perfect. Good. I'm asking him to come stand here because he's kind of been standing back by this gentleman. I want him to come stand here, and I want her to come stand beside him. And then I just want them to start talking. Even though I know he's going to be the one that's more vocal, who's the one that lost the child? Because I keep hearing we need to talk about the child passing. All right, hold on a minute. I'm sorry. Hold in just a minute. I'm asking my guide if this is the next person that's going to come through, and they said yes. Okay, who's the one that lost the child? You lost a child? Okay, perfect. Just means I'm going to be coming to one of you next, because somebody keeps saying to me there's a loss of a child. Okay, perfect. So we will get there slowly, because they'll make me feel it, and it could be that I get 2 or 3 of them stepping in. I'm just being told a loss of a child, and I can hear my guide saying we need to talk about the loss of a child. It just means that they're trying to pass information already, not only through your dad, but they're trying to get me my attention as to where I'm going to be moving next, which means I'm just going to go that way, okay? I'm asking Charlie what else he wants to say. Are you surprised to talk to him? Because he keeps saying to me, I know she's surprised to talk to me, but I had to let her know that I was standing here and that I showed up. I said, okay. It's just what he's saying to me. So I'm just repeating his words, okay? But I know the mother is here, and so I'm just waiting to see who else is going to step in. But I'm asking him if there's anything else he wants to say before he pulls his energy out. Here's what's happening. You have 12 people in a row. There's 12 people here, and I feel like everyone wants to step forward and start talking. So that's how I know you've lost a decent amount of people. Do you understand it? Now, I don't control who steps forward. He just ends up being the first person that grabbed my attention. Now, when I have a long line like this, sometimes you might only have a chance to talk to 1 or 2 or even 3. So I'm hoping the other person steps forward. But right now, the only 2 people in front of me are the father energy and the mother energy, okay? And who's the husband energy belong to? Because he keeps saying my wife. Perfect. Is he the one you're hoping for? Good. Because I hear him clear as day, and I keep getting, tell my wife I'm standing here. Do you understand it? And he's the one you were hoping for. Perfect. Listen, here's what's happening. It's not only your father's chance to actually introduce himself and start talking, and your mother's here as well, but they're also giving him the energy. That's why they kept saying there's 12 people here, but I had to wait and see if anyone else stepped forward, okay? But I'm being told loss of husband because I kept getting, I want to talk to my wife. Do you understand it? Okay, perfect. All right, I'm starting to feel him. This is what's going to happen. I know that Charlie and the mother energy, I know there's more that they want to say to you, okay? But I feel like I need to take him while I have him, okay? Can I ask you a question? Do you feel like he was taken from you? Do you still hold anger over it? Were you angry in the beginning? Because I'm just asking, because he keeps saying to me, I was taken from her and it was so unexpected, I know she's had a hard time. That usually means that somebody's carrying anger. So it could be you or it could be someone else in the family. Do you understand it? Perfect. That's all I keep hearing, so as long as you understand that, because that's what he's saying to me. Do you understand? Do you feel like he's taken like that? Because I'm being told there's a preparedness, but then I feel like it's about the time frame as far as I'm taken. When they say sudden and unexpected to me, that's completely different. I feel the preparedness, I know there's a timeline, and then I feel like he's taken from you sooner than you expected. Do you understand it? Okay, but I feel like you had a chance to kind of see him through all this. Because he keeps saying to me, she'll never know how much she means to me and what support she gave me. And everything that we went through all the way up until the time that I passed. Do you understand it? Okay. You were married for quite some time, and he makes me feel like first love. Do you understand it? Is this your first marriage, honey? Okay, because he just said 1ST and drew it really big for me, and then I feel like not only is it the first love, but I feel like it's the first time that you're both tied in marriage. Do you understand? Perfect. He makes me feel like I'm slowly shutting my system down. Do you understand it? Okay. I'm being told several health complications. It's not just one. And then I feel like my breathing gets shut off, and then I feel like there's organs starting to fail. Do you understand that? So I know there's organ failure, and then he makes me feel like I'm going into a little bit of shock with this. Do you understand that? That doesn't always mean shock to the system. I feel like it's more shock emotionally. Like he makes me feel like even though he was on the progression line of what he was making me feel as far as health issues. Do you understand it? Okay. He makes me feel like there was a part of him that felt like he was going to go. There's a part of him that felt like he wasn't. And I feel like it's a shock of, oh my gosh, it's my time to leave now. Meaning he wasn't fully settled in his mind and in his heart about transitioning over to the other side. Even though he crossed right away, he makes me feel he was afraid to leave you and the rest of the family behind. It makes me feel like he's more worried about all of you than he was worried about himself. Do you understand it? Did he voice that to you? Because he's saying to me, I kept saying to her, I didn't want to leave her. Do you understand it? Perfect. Okay. You were there with him all the way up until the end? Because he makes me feel like my breath is being taken away, and I know you're with him. Do you understand it? Perfect. You told him it was okay to go? Because he said to me, it was hard for me to leave her, but when I heard her say it was okay for me to go, that they would be okay, and that she just wanted me to have peace and not have the suffering anymore, I knew it was my time to actually go. Do you understand it? Okay, perfect. He's laying me in the bed, so he's just making me feel the relaxed place, okay? As he starts to do this, I can feel my system starting to shut down. So I know there's not only several health issues, but there's something major as well. All he kept doing was cutting off my breathing, and I feel like it affects some of the organs. Do you understand it? Perfect, good. He gives me this pain all right here. He's making me feel hardship for you. When they give that to me and I just feel right here and my guide says hardship to me, it's his way of saying that he sees and has felt all the pain and everything that you've endured since the passing. And it's his way of saying to me that he's done everything he can to still be with you and give you the comfort that you need. Do you understand it? Okay, good. You pray for him because he's showing me the praying hands. Okay, and where does the Catholicism come in the family? Because do you understand it? Perfect. Because there's a woman standing behind him and standing just behind your parents, and I see the praying hands with the rosary, and that's time now. It just means, remember how I said there's 12 people, there's older generations here giving support as well, and that's okay. He's, okay, they're saying to me I have just a few minutes with him. I'm going to ask the Mother Energy if there's anything she wants to say. Tell her I love her, but I know how important it was for her to hear from him today. Do you understand it? And then she's starting to just kind of step back a little bit. She's very loving, but very set in her ways. Do you understand it? Good, because I'm feeling her personality. Charlie came in right away going, my name is Charles, but call me Charlie, and he's like getting my attention all over the place. And I always want them to tell me their names. Sometimes they get so eager and so excited that I always, like, if somebody comes to me for a private, I'm like, tell me your name, talk to me about the passing, show me the crossover, and give me a specific date, and then we can move on to everything else. And I have them give it to me in a private. It's completely different. But here, in a group setting, I only have a couple minutes with them. So I just want them to at least try to give me 2 out of the 3, which he did, which is wonderful. And it's just because I made the first connection with them. Now, everyone else is starting to take turns because he makes me feel like he has a few things to say before they start to step out. And it's just they're trying to get their words into you as much as they can, okay? Perfect. What do you carry of your husband? Because she keeps saying to me, she still carries it around.
7.4.
Do you understand it? And you have it with you and keep it with you? Because he keeps saying to me, not only does she have it with her, because he makes me feel like I want to hold it in my hand and then I want to place it right here. Do you understand it? Meaning close to the heart. And then he keeps saying to me, she carries it around all the time, she has it. Perfect, good. So it's just his way of validating that. Were you not expecting this sickness? Because he's saying to me, that was part of the shock. Do you understand it? That not only was he not expecting it, but neither were you. And he keeps saying to me, I know she knows our plan and everything that we had talked about as far as all the things we wanted to do for the future. And I know it's hard for her to not have me there to be able to continue to do those things together. Do you understand it? Okay. What's with the children? Children. He keeps saying children to me. How many children are there? Perfect, because he keeps saying to me, I need to talk about the 3 of them. It's not just for her. Do you understand it? I took it as you're 1 and the children are 2. We're not talking about the dog, but that's okay. But if he talks about the dog, that's great. He kept saying to me, I needed to talk to her. I needed to talk to the 3 of them. And he kept saying it's not just about her, meaning it's not just about you, meaning there's 2 children. Do you understand it? Perfect, because that's what he's saying to me. Okay, perfect. I'm just going to ask him to start talking about what he wants to say. I never thought my life, I'm just going to repeat his words, honey, okay? I never thought my life would go the way it did. I never thought that I would be leaving her and the kids behind. Do you understand? That's how I knew there was children, okay? Who's been finding the pennies? I want you to, who's the young male? Okay, because he keeps saying to me, I know he's been finding pennies, tell him it's from me. It just means that's a sign from him and that you need to tell your son to watch for it. Do you understand it? Now, this can be random because some people don't think about it. They don't think about paying attention to the signs. They get so caught up in their daily life and the loss and the grief and just trying to support one another that they don't really allow themselves to be open for all the signs that their loved ones are actually sending. He showed me a copper penny. He started flipping it, and he kept saying to me, tell him to watch for the pennies. And that's how I know that it was a younger male that it went through. So that's your son. Perfect. So it's just his way of validating that that's a sign for him. Do you understand? And it's just one that I think you need to say to him. Now, could this have been that he has been sending pennies to him since the passing? Absolutely. But sometimes we don't always necessarily pay attention to the signs. It's just one that you can now give your son so that way he can continue to watch for it. Do you understand it? Good. I can feel and start to see the peaceful wings in front of his chest. It's his way of validating that he's at peace. I'm going to start repeating his words. She needs to know that my life would have never been the same without her. She was the most important woman in my life, and my family was everything to me. That's him talking about you and the children, okay? I know it hasn't been easy for her. Tell her thank you for the way that she's held everything together. Do you understand that? Can I ask you a question? Do you feel like you've had to hold yourself together a little stronger to be supportive over the children? Do you understand it? Because that's how he's making me feel. He keeps saying to me, I know that she's grieved me. I've sat and I've watched her cry. I try to do everything I can to be by her side and give her comfort whenever I can. I know that she knows that I've been there. I know that she's been praying for me because I've seen it. But I wish she would allow herself a little more time to grieve the way that she should have grieved in the beginning because she was too concerned over the children. Do you understand that? Do you understand why I'm saying that? Do you feel like you kind of just tried to get through everything and hold yourself together? Okay. It's just his way of saying that he solved all of that. My guides are saying to me that only did he cross right away, but he stayed with you guys for over a month to get you through everything. It's not only his way of saying that he stayed with you in spirit to see you through all this. It's his way of validating that he saw what you went through. Do you understand it? Did you feel like the main concern was the children for you? Okay. It's just Okay, that's why he's making me feel it. Because he kept saying to me, you didn't allow yourself to grieve properly, but he made me feel like you were the one trying to hold everything together. That's why he acknowledged that before. Do you understand it? Okay, good. This is what I'm going to say to you. He just said to me, she's always been the strongest in